This is FSD Supervised 12.4.3. The profile is currently set to average, and this is going to be the drive around Plant City Drive. These videos, just run them back at twice the playback speed, or just hit the bookmarks below. Then yeah. So this is the first time I'm going to do the Plant City Drive on this version. There's some maneuvers that I haven't done, some issues that pop up. For example, here is a State Road 39 sign. It's going to see it, and it's going to run the speed limit down to 30 miles an hour. No, that's interesting, actually. This spot I've driven quite frequently. That's weird. So all week long I was driving through here, and it was doing the State Road 39 sign and dropping the speed limit down to 30. The only difference is I'm set to auto speed. That is weird. So this version is the no nag version. Well, less nag, hands-free, supposed to be. So I'm going to keep my hand off the steering wheel the bulk of the time. I've just taken it off the steering wheel now. What I've kind of gotten into the habit of doing is a blend of holding the wheel and staring at the road, and that seems to shut the nags up the most. But yeah, so these traffic lights are new. You can tell they're new. They're also not on the map, but they've been here for a little while now. But, you know, because of how FSD is, it knows that it's a traffic light and that it needs to stop for it. That is bizarre. I swear, every other time I go past the State Road 39 sign, it adjusts the speed limit down to 30. But if I'm on auto speed, it doesn't. I'm curious. Yeah, I haven't been using auto speed in my day-to-day driving just because it's been a little inconsistent sometimes. So this is also my first time using auto speed where it is not the Lakeland Drive. And I honestly wasn't paying enough attention to it during the Lakeland Drive. It seems to be a little bit more stable. It sees a 30 mile an hour sign, and we're down to 30 miles an hour for that State Road 39 sign. We're staying at 45, which is good. Here's a hidden 40 mile an hour sign. I have no idea why they put it behind that post, but the car ends up not seeing it until the last minute. It has started slowing down for railroad tracks to make going over them smoother, which I appreciate. But I feel like it slows down a little too much for the railroad crossings. At least more than I would. So there'll be a few different railroad crossings that we go over here today. So I do need to be in the left lane. It'll probably start trying to change there now. Anytime now. There it is. going pretty slow, but I feel like some of it is the car knows it's approaching a red light, so it intentionally goes slow because it's not like it's going to go anywhere. But it's the impatience of the drivers around you that you need to watch out for in those circumstances. Like, I'll be the first one to admit, is that guy trying to run a red light? I'll be one of the first ones to admit that, yes, sometimes I'll crawl to the next stoplight because nobody's going anywhere, but you've got other people that are being really impatient. So the right lane goes straight only. This lane turns, and then there's another turn lane that shows up. We need to ideally stay in this turn lane. There, yeah. So it shouldn't have tried to follow the truck. This lane used to be a straight through lane, but it isn't anymore. Now it's a turn only. Although sometimes you run into people who treat it like a straight through. So this turn here, this is a dedicated turn lane, and it goes into a lane of its own on the other side. So it should briefly stop for the red light, like at the crosswalk thereabouts, and then it should just keep going. Oh, nice. Didn't even stop. That's perfect. That's honestly very human for the area. Oop. Okay, it should be in the left lane right now, and had it done what it was going to do in the first place, instead of aborting, it would have been perfect. But it aborted. So we're on our way to a dedicated U-turn lane. So I'll have to call out the bad lane change there. I would have followed through on that. We can't get onto the interstate and people are trying to sort themselves out. It's really weird, dude. Alright. So now I have a red U-turn light. I wonder why you can't get on the interstate. That's weird. So now it's a blinking yellow light. Oh, they're repaving. Okay, so this is actually a really good way to test the U-turn. The off-ramp for this exit is closed in addition to the on-ramp. So I'm not going to get any adversarial traffic from the left. So the car should just try and do the U-turn. That would have been a really good opportunity. There is one car behind me. That would have been another really good opportunity. Now it's a red light again. Alright, next time it goes yellow, I'm probably going to manually do the U-turn. There we go. Perfect. So I'm going to give it accelerator because there's traffic behind me. But otherwise it pulls through just fine. It's just a small tap to get it some go. And I'm going to turn it off here. And that guy should not be parking there. Alright. So as I reach the destinations, I will turn off FSD, mainly because I don't like its automatic park behavior. I'm also not trying to park. I'm trying to do a big old loop here. I do not like the behavior where it just reaches the destination and does not stop. Yeah, that's the one I want. Alright. So I'm going to re-engage it. And we should just go back out the same way we came in. And I ran over a balloon. This guy's not paying any attention whatsoever. So I'm turning right in 0.2 miles. I don't want to be in this lane, and I know what it's going to do is once I pass this street light, it's going to go, oh, I need to be over there. There's the behavior. So that's one of the things I've noticed is it seems to put off getting into the correct lane until you go through the last traffic light that you'll go through before making the turn. I started noticing that on the last version. Sometimes it's patient about it, but in a lot of cases it waits until that last traffic light before the turn, and then after that traffic light it tries to get over. But in a lot of cases that just doesn't work. It's gotta plan that out better. Two cars on the right. One is going to be turning where I am. No cars on the left. So there's a car turning in front of me, and then I can go. There we go. So, and I haven't touched the steering wheel since I turned it back on at the hotel, or at the Wawa, whatever. And then visibility to the left is blocked by this barn thing. Nothing on the left, nothing on the right. We're clear to go. And that's about the cadence I'd want to see out of the car. At least for now, right? As a human supervising the system, I need enough time to look both ways before it tries to cross the street. As the system gets better, I know that it can look both ways at the same time, and that'll be able to go a little bit faster, but, you know. Some brake pumping, I don't know why. Whoa. Kind of a false start. Not sure why it started to go and then basically just slammed the brakes again. I'm assuming it got confused by the car that was approaching me from the front. I know last time I had an issue with turning right on red here. Ugh. And I guess that problem still exists. Well, at least that guy's there. So right on red is permissible here, but the car is not taking the initiative. I'm gonna let it ride because nobody is behind me. But there's no reason for me to be stopped here. It even knows there's a creep limit that it can go to. It just doesn't move. Alright, and then I gotta get past a specific spot and then I'll change the destination here. I gotta get past this road. Yep. Alright. So now we are going to change the destination to like over here. And I'm doing this while not touching the steering wheel. I'm just being very careful about the amount of time I'm spending staring at stuff. Now, I want to say the actual speed limit on this road is about 40, but it's registering a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. And a lot of the blue that you're seeing up top is me looking over at the screen and trying to confirm what's going on. Make sure I'm relaying proper information as I'm monologuing. So we need to turn left. We're not going to have a car blocking my view on the right, hopefully. So we'll see how the car handles this. It looks like they're doing even more intersection changes here. I hope they're just trying to smooth the damn road out. So there is one car coming from the right. I got nothing from the left. So once this car that's passing me now goes, I can go. We can go, but the car is being really slow about it, but nobody else is around. And away we go. So construction cones, historically, if my hands are not on the wheel, it screams at me. So we'll see what we get here. My eyes are dead forward, hands are not on the wheel. That's my fault. I was looking back. There's a rattle coming from the back. I'm trying to figure out what it is. So, that's one of four. Shortly after taking this turn, I will replot it for the next destination. So this is an elbow turn that sometimes gives me issues. It shouldn't really do anything bad to me today. There's no traffic to speak of. It's slow, but otherwise good. Alright. We're going to end the trip, and then we are going to replot. There's a fussing. So I did touch the wheel to make that nag go away a little bit. And there's a replot. Alright, so I'm probably going to end up with a strike on this drive. I wish I had more time to screw around with this before the system fussed at me. Now, typically, I wouldn't be trying to do that while I'm driving. I would come to a stop and then replot and all that jazz, but, yeah. See, this right on red, it's gonna do. What's it gonna do? It wants to do it. It doesn't know that it can do it. It's really annoying. Again, it's done this right on red many a time before. So I guess this intersection just has issues. I'm also not on the sensor. It's gone past the stop line. So that's actually an interesting problem. Now that I'm beyond the stop line, I am not in a position to trigger this light to turn green. So in theory, I could be stuck here indefinitely. I'm going to give it a moment or two. But I seem to be captured at this red light. It wants to go, it wants to do the right on red, but it can't. And this is not a timed light, this is a sensor-driven light. Now there's a car coming behind me. We can see he's going to stop at the line, and I'm going to hit the accelerator and go here. But I'm going to hit the accelerator, I'm hitting the accelerator. But yeah, so that's a pretty big bug in my opinion. I was stuck at that light because there's sensors under the road, and the car moved beyond the sensor while trying to turn right on red, and it stopped trying to trip it. It's kind of a funny bug, but a bad bug. Because obviously if I was in a robo-taxi without a steering wheel, without pedals and all that stuff, there wouldn't be a way for me to say, it's safe, go ahead and do the thing you want to do. So from a design perspective, maybe have a button pop up that says proceed or something. I don't know. If the car hasn't moved in an extended period of time. But that intersection needs to be fixed. That's not good. Or maybe this is just a day of really long traffic lights. Okay, light's green. I'm gonna hit the accelerator. I just got honked at. Not sure why the car did not see it, unless it's a positioning of the sun. I'll have to look at that one in post, but I did end up with a green turn signal there. And the car didn't proceed for that one either. I also have my sun visor down, so if it did turn green earlier, I didn't notice. Because the sun is super crazy bright this morning. So next up is a Wishbone. This is a bi-directional road. It's going to merge with a one-way street, so I can't turn. Nobody can turn left here. I did run into an interesting one where in the past there's been cars here, and that made me feel unsafe because I didn't have a proper view out the back. But here, we're good. Saving the dash cam footage because I realize I can go back and try and see what the car saw for the traffic light and get a better idea as to whether the sun was being obstructive or not. So again, part of the late lane change stuff is it waits to pass the last possible intersection, give or take a little bit, and then it moves over. So, oh no, it's not going to the roundabout. That's why. Shit. That's not what was supposed to happen. Okay, there's a truck coming from the left. Here's my stop sign, and then I want to go into the roundabout. So I had to give it a little bit of an accelerator tap to get through there. And we're now in the roundabout. We don't need the signal on. Okay. So historically, when I've navigated to here, I've always put the pin inside the roundabout, and it always going to the end of the roundabout. But today, for some reason, it wanted to put me on the main road. So that was kind of weird. Alright, next up is, I don't want to say here. And yeah, we can do that one. So normally I have the car go up and over. But that's all like Belgian blocks and stuff, and I found some interesting anomalies with a stop sign at this intersection, so we're going to try and do that. So we stop, and then we should be creeping forward. But we're okay. So we're moving into narrow roads. So it looks like it got spooked by these little islands they put on the side. Can't tell if it was to beautify the place or road diet the thing. Yeah, again, every time it goes past these little island things, well, not that one, but the last two, it scooted to the right. So the little curbings are spooking it. Looks like there's some police activity ahead. Oh, that's quite a bit of police activity there. And this guy doesn't want to be near it, apparently. They're already stopped. They're not going to chase you if you go speeding by. We don't need to be going 20 miles an hour. Of course, maybe everybody's just being Saturday morning nosy. High Performance Designs is getting a visit today. So previously I've had an issue where the stop sign was blocked by overgrowth. That's not a problem today. I emailed the city after that and they cleared it. But we still want to be looking both ways to cross the road. There's another police car. They are out today. No oppositional traffic, so we're good. And now we're narrow roads. So we're not maintaining the lane, but there's no oncoming traffic. So not bad, not great. We're not going to hit the cat. Nothing from the left, nothing from the right. Nope, now there's something on the left. And I don't think that guy was happy with how far my nose was sticking out. Dogs that are unleashed. Oh, stupid dog. One, two, three. This is why we have leash laws. One, two, three. Alright, so bumper camera. It most likely will not be reflected in the footage because of how close that dog was. The dog was to the right, and so I'm going to turn it off there. I'm going to go park in the park area and just chill out for a second. Actually, you know what? So, okay. So I'm in Hillsborough County, Florida. Hillsborough County, Florida has leash laws. Those dogs weren't supposed to be out unattended in the first place. The 3 dogs were staying to the left side of the road, and then as I approached, one of the dogs decided, I don't like this car. I'm going to try and chase the car away. And he darted out in front of me. And all of the action, I'm probably ended up off frame. But he got really, really friggin' close to the left driver's side tire to the point where I had to evade in order to not run it over. Because it was being a dumbass dog. So, dog is fine. We could see 3 in the frame originally. We saw 3 in the frame when we left because of the rear camera view. But I'm not sure how to correct that. One, a bumper camo would definitely be useful, but it was attacking me from the left. I don't know. That was really annoying. Put you back in drive. And save the last 10 minutes. Now we're going to go over here. So I can have it try and do that elbow turn, which I know it'll fail at because it's a shitty one. Right turn, and we're going to turn left here. So I'm going to be disengaging the system a fair chunk here, because again I don't like how it just keeps going without actually coming to a full stop there. So we're going to call that close enough, and we are going to end the trip and reroute it to here. There we go. Now this is a right elbow turn, a particularly sharp one. Historically the car, what it should probably do is jank left and then turn. Historically, it just tries to put me in the ditch on the other side. So, let's see what we do. Well, it didn't put me in the ditch, but it's not reversing its way out of it. It seems to know it wants to reverse. But it's not. So that's actually better. It stopped and couldn't proceed. It seemed to know that it had to reverse to keep going, but it didn't. So give them that tip. So yeah, and that one was good. I mean, it didn't succeed in pulling the maneuver off, but it didn't try and throw me in the ditch like it did in the past, so I call that a win. Oh, that's nasty. Ugh. The police are out in force this morning. But the dog incident is part of why I say using FSD is a symbiotic relationship, right? In most cases, like right now, there's nothing on the road, everything is fine. I know I'm not going to have any issues, so I'm just going to let the car do its thing. Even though it's got, like a 1.5 feet on the other side and it doesn't need to be right in the center line. I'm going to let it do its thing. But when I see errant animals on the road that are just like, asking to be run over, I'm going to put my hands on the wheel, I'm going to put my foot over the brake, and I'm going to assume that the vehicle is going to not handle that scenario properly, and be pleasantly surprised if it does. But it's a symbiotic relationship that you need to develop with the car, where in good conditions, you just know it's going to be fine, and then as you start to add more variables to the driving, that's when you start to do more, maybe I put my hands on the wheel, maybe I put my foot over the brake, foot over the accelerator, depending on the circumstances. And you just run with that. Here's a little kitty. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to disengage it because I do not like the fact that it doesn't do that on its own when you reach destination. And I'm going to call that done and head for the last stop, which is here. Yes, that is what I want to do. Do I want to do that or this? Let's do that. I think that's going to be more interesting. So again, I would have to look at previous footage from 12.3. There's no oppositional traffic, so I'm fine with it taking up more space on the road. But it is a little concerning. These people are like always doing a yard sale every day. Well, every time I go out for a drive anyways. I got a truck coming on the left. I got nothing coming on the right. And away we go. So yeah, so main complaint is it still doesn't, I don't have any oppositional traffic. So while it's not staying to the right side of the road, I haven't seen it try to maneuver for a vehicle that's coming. So, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Turn that off. Much better handling of the railroad crossings. Holy cow. Normally, that one in particular, it would normally just try and fly over, and it's handling that way better. I got a car coming on the left, car coming on the right. Don't go. But my nose is out really far. And this guy is apparently turning here, and there's another car on the left. No, don't go. And this guy is trying to let me out, so I have to hit the accelerator to make it go. So that was an intervention because the other guy was being, for lack of better phrasing, overly polite. But again, my car's nose was out kind of far, so for him to maneuver onto that road, it was probably easier for him to let me go. Stupid. So I actually kind of like how fast it got me in the left lane here. So speed limit sign has been a problem in the past. I don't think it'll be a problem today. In the past, it's been like, here's 40 miles, and then we pass the next tree and it drops down to a different speed. Or no, it was 40 miles and then it went up to 45, but obviously that's fixed. So next up is the double left turn. I have not yet done this, so we'll find out how it works on the fly here. The first portion of this left turn lane is to go to the RaceTrac. The second portion is to go to the Walgreens. So we don't want to get in here, and the car faked it, and now we get in. So it needs to not do the initial fake out. What I have seen happen in the past is when there's traffic building up, it will get in behind the traffic for the RaceTrac instead of the traffic for this road. So there's no traffic there, so I don't know if that issue's resolved. It's obviously a side effect of doing an early morning drive. So it needs to traverse this parking lot and get over there. See, what I would really like is at the end of the destination, don't put it in park, but put it into this, right? The park assist thing. Where now I'm at my destination, you should give me the option on what parking space I want to pick. So as a whole, that drive was alright. Certainly nothing to write home about. 12.3.6 was more stable in some regards than this one. I felt like it handled the narrow road stuff better. The one issue with the red light not turning right on red is still there. With the new issue of apparently it did not want to do it from the other side, and that one was interesting because it got itself stuck, and I ultimately had to help its way through. I'm gonna double check the timing of the light because I know I was stopped for a red on the other side, and I'm gonna compare the timings to see if I was stopped longer. But I'm pretty sure airport road stays green until someone lands on the sensor, and because the car did not wait on the sensor for a green, it got stuck at a red light that it didn't want to turn right on. Handling of railroad crossings is substantially better. Obviously still a little room for improvement. Sometimes it slows down too much, but for the really, really nasty ones, it's gotten a lot better. So that one's good. And then that stupid dog. I honestly, I don't know what the best solution is for that. I know when I go look at the footage and post, there's not going to be any of it, because he was in the front driver's side quarter of the car, and it was just out of nowhere. He charged the car, and I had to come to a complete stop to not run it over, and evade. I had to move away from the dog and come to a complete stop to not run it over. That was really annoying. Other than that, thanks for watching. Just a reminder, the whole point of these videos is for me to better converse with people on the internet, right? So when someone says, oh, FSD behaves like this, I can be like, well, actually, here's my experience with FSD, and it seems to be behaving and whatnot. So subscribing to the YouTube channel is really not necessary. I don't know why there's so many subscribers to the channel. You don't have to. It's not required. But yeah. I don't know why you guys are subscribing. These videos are kind of shitty, which is kind of the point. These videos are purely there for me to just be able to easily have reference points to be like, well, actually it behaves like this, when talking to folks online. So don't subscribe. You know, if you're already a subscriber, maybe unsubscribe. I don't know why you guys are subscribing. It's kind of weird. Anyways, thanks for watching.